The
Sure.
first job you ever had. What was it like? Do you remember?
Yeah. My first professional job, I was actually a car salesman.
Oh, okay.
Which was my first job out of university, and I needed money. I saw an ad in the paper, and there was a attractive bonus potential, so I went for a job interview, and they told me that they would never employ me because I didn't have any experience.
Okay.
So I wrote to them and said that I was very angry that they would be how dare you not even give me a job. And so they said, okay, come in for an interview, and I spoke to the sales manager, and I ended up working there selling cars. So
How long do you have there?
I managed it for 10 months. 10 months was hard work. Some of my best friends still work in that industry, but I'm going back about 15 years now. But I moved into media directly after that.
Why did you leave?
It's one of those jobs that I think you've either got the right mentality for it or you haven't. And car sales is very tough. It's very tough. It's a really hard industry. Yeah. And I was selling Vauxhalls, so it wasn't very exciting. You know, if someone's going to look at a Vauxhall, they're going to look at a Ford and a Peugeot and a Citroen. It's not. No one wakes up in the morning and goes, I want to buy a Vauxhall. You know, it's not like BMW or Mercedes. You know, it's a different type of thing. But it's tough work.
So if you had the opportunity to do it again, would you go for something different, or would you have?
I don't know. I think, would I do it again? I wouldn't now. But I wouldn't change it. It was a brilliant experience, and some of my best friends are still in that industry now, so I wouldn't change it, definitely.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
All good? All right?
Yeah,
no worries. No worries.
I graduated from KNUST in Ghana.
Okay.
I went back to Nigeria, did my NYSC. Then I started working as a field service engineer after that in it's called Jeff Tech Limited in Transformadi,
Okay.
Harcourt.
Okay.
And I did that for 2 years. Then I came to study here at Robert Gordon, offshore masters in offshore oil and gas engineering.
Okay.
And then I graduated in 2018. And then, but before while I was studying, I was working as a steward at Sodexo. Then I started working as a security supervisor, like pubs, nightclubs, things like that. Then I got it's a more type of professional security job at Silverfin.
Okay.
And I worked there for about 8 months, and I was applying for jobs as well. Then I got this job as a petrotechnical data analyst. So I've been doing that since April.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So what's the job like? Is it?
It's mainly like analysis of oil and gas data.
Data, okay.
And then we extract that for the company, and then they can use that to predict well performance and intervention, predictive maintenance, and things like that.
How would you describe your journey?
From there to here.
Yeah, from there to here.
Yeah, it was tough, you know. Because you're studying at the same time. Or some people have the luxury of they have courses that are not that hectic and they have lots of free time. But I had classes from like 9 to 5, and from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Juggling working, and then also trying to study at the same time and complete my dissertation.
Yeah.
So it's tough, but if you can like hack it, it'll like teach you a lot of things. You learn like loads of analytical skills. Dynamic risk assessment, things like that.
Would you say you've done fair? Like, if you were to assess how hard and the fruits of everything, can you say you've
achieved a lot?
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay. So this is something you're doing till the foreseeable future.
Yeah. And then I'm planning to also like transition into cybersecurity in the long term.
That's IT.
Because the engineering industry is no longer like they're no longer focused on like manual, tasks and
technologies.
It's more like
changing.
Yes, Industry 4.0.
Yeah.
It's more integrating technology and data analysis with the current oil and gas industry, because they're trying to, with like the oil price dropping and everything, they're trying to, as opposed to just spending money without actually taking into account what they're spending, they're trying to like optimize.
Make sure
everything's actually worth it.
Yeah.
As opposed to just like throwing money away.
Okay.
So, that's where I'm at now.
So just full cybersecurity, or is it security of engineering systems?
Yeah. that would be the goal. Because if I went to say another industry, then it'll be like going back to square one. But I have all this knowledge of oil and gas, so it would be useful to go into cybersecurity in oil and gas.
Looking at, because I'm in IT myself, and the cybersecurity, it's growing. It's an emerging industry, and it's really, really growing, especially this part of the world.
Yeah.
So, but in terms of the security of IT, engineering IT systems, I'm thinking about it, and what are they securing? Is it? I mean, what are the threats? I think that's what I'm trying to ask. Are there really threats there to? I mean, much like you find in the financial other industries, where if they lose data or there's a breach in their system, it's
really harmful.
So, but the engineering, oil and gas,
it's basically the same idea. They're trying to like secure their data, make sure that they're trying to control the data, really make sure it's going to like authorized personnel. Because if, say, someone with like malicious intentions had access to that data, they could like use it for God knows what. And the data that they have is actually more valuable than the actual company itself. The company is the data.
Intellectual property and all that stuff.
Because they have data from like the 70s. It goes way back. So with all that data, that's actual value. With all that data, they could like predict things. They could anticipate what will happen in the future. They could anticipate things in 10 years from now, what would happen. So, yeah.
Do you ever see yourself going back to? Are you from Nigeria?
Yeah.
Okay, from
Nigeria.
Okay. Do you ever see yourself going back to Nigeria?
Yeah, long term, because Nigeria needs all of this.
Yeah.
Yeah, they need all this expertise to like develop, and because there's a lot of opportunity in like Africa in general to implement all these things. And if they were to, because the way things are in Nigeria is like they're just spending money without actually like there's no like track record, there's no database. There's no things like population census in Nigeria. They can't really they don't have actual figures. All of it is just estimates, and it's not even like, because when you're estimating, there's like room for error, there's a margin of error, say plus or minus 5%, but there's no actual like record of that. There's no input or anything. So if they could do that, then the industry would really grow.
And the with the whole the rise of cybercrime. I mean, it's been there, but lately it's like at an all-time high right now. So on the other side, there is the lack of professionals in the field that are really. So that's an opportunity. Also
definitely. That's the whole idea, because you can't have any like sort of like technological advancement will always have like a drawback or downside. And the drawback of cybersecurity is the risk of cyber threat and things like that. So if they have people that are well trained in cybersecurity, then those people will work for good and protect their data.
Yeah, especially back back in Nigeria.
Because I used to work for while I was working as a security guard, there was a company, I don't want to say their name, and they had a data breach, and their server was shut down for almost a week. They couldn't do anything, they couldn't work, because someone in I don't know where from hacked their server and then shut down the entire company. I think there's something online about Maersk as well. Maersk had an issue where they had to pay loads of fines, but they had like a lot of money to like restructure everything and bring it back to the way it was. But say companies that don't have that type of resource, it could be fatal. And that would be the end of the company. So that is the end game really.
Well, I wish you success.
Thank you, man.
It's been nice talking to you, man.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
All right. So I would like to talk to you about your first job experience, the first job you ever had.
Yeah.
Do you remember?
The first job I ever had was chopping on doors, asking people if I can wash their cars and clean the driveways.
Okay. How old were you then?
I think I was around about 10 or 11 when I first started trying to earn money. So my dad wouldn't buy me a Game Boy, so I had to go and buy my own.
Okay. So do you recollect how much you made? What's your game?
I remember specifically the Game Boy Color at the time was I think it was £70.
Oh, okay.
So I think it took me a month to come up with £70.
Enough
cars to buy my Game Boy and bought 2 Pokemon games.
Okay. So how about after college?
So I've been in sales, so mostly around sales management.
Okay.
And the motor trade as well. So
your first job right after college was
sales, so mostly within sales mostly. Yeah.
So what's the experience been like for you?
Roller coaster. So it's been really good, challenging. You learn a lot, but it's just about keeping a good attitude, to be honest, and just being positive even when it's not going well.
Yeah, sure. How long now have you been in sales?
I've been in sales about 7 years now.
7 years.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a lot of. Any regrets?
If
you think about how far you've come.
Yeah, a lot. I think it'd be important with the head on the shoulders I've got now. I'd say you want to look for the right company and the right product and stick with them.
Okay. So what's the future? What does future look like for you? What are your aspirations?
Hopefully working for Original. Okay. So I've just come out an interview, so fingers crossed I'll have a job there.
Okay, all right, man. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
All right, well, you have a nice day.
What's your name?
Victor.
Oh, okay, so I'd like you to just talk about your first job experience, first job you ever had. What's it like?
Okay, the first job I ever had was working at a pizza restaurant.
Oh, okay.
Well, not a corporate job. While I was at uni, I was working at a pizza restaurant.
Where was that?
This was in the US. Yeah, I used to live in the US. In Texas.
Okay.
And so I was working in the kitchen, working part-time basically, while I was also studying at uni. So I was helping out in the kitchen and with waiting. And preparing the pizzas and such. Yeah.
How long did you do that for?
Did that for like 4 months.
4 months.
Yeah, 4 or 5 months, and then until I graduated. Yeah.
How about when you left the university? What was the first job you got?
When I left university, I did my master's, and now I have a job here in data management.
Okay, so is this technically like your first full-time job?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is this one? So I do data management for oil and gas companies.
Okay.
And track information from reports.
What's it like? Is it something you enjoy doing?
Yeah, it's enjoyable at times. Sometimes it's a bit repetitive, but it's my first job, and I'm hoping to build from here.
Okay. Yeah. How long have you had it?
1 year now.
1 year.
Yeah.
So it's something that you're gonna do till the foreseeable future?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. For now, it's a good place to be. Yeah. Okay. Like my colleagues and the atmosphere. Yeah.
So what does the future look like for you? Any plans?
Well, I'm in the oil industry. I'm looking to
transition
into maybe an operating company at some point.
Okay. Because the oil and gas is a bit unstable. The price is going up and down, so anything can happen.
Yeah. Hopefully, I can get skills that allow me to work anywhere. So,
okay.
But yeah, initially I'd like to work in oil and gas for sure. Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah.
That'll be alright. Thank you for talking to us, man. Take care, man.